last sound is easier holding you.
Today, I'm gonna try to make a little formal intro, but I just kind of wanted to do a little Zodiac video because I haven't done any of those in a while, and then it's also kind of short because I feel like my videos lately have been super long because I like to talk and I like to express myself. I wanted this to be kind of fun and silly, but also like based on my opinion and how I see the different signs, you know. So I decided to kind of do this video because I was inspired by something on like the recommended page, and you know, inspo. So today I'm doing own cases as zodiac sign, and the first case that I saw was, I'm gonna put it this one, and I would equate this to Aries because most Aries, and I'm gonna do male and female. Oh, I'm gonna do female first and then male. So I would equate this case to Aries because they usually, or Aries women, because they usually know how to shine in the dark, like, or shine on their own. And I think the birthstone of Aries is diamond. I don't know. I'm not sure. Don't fact check me. But they just know how to shine on their own. They're just a shiny person for real, and not like flashy. Like they just have like a glow to them. They're most Aries women that I meet, whether they know that or not, or feel that or not. And they're also usually really unique and like just themselves, and nothing less and nothing more. And for the dudes, I picked this case because they tend to be a little rough around the edges, but they also can be super protective of the people that they love or care about. And also they can be kind of clumsy because they're so like free-spirited. They're kind of like Aries girls, like they know how to shine in the dark and shit too. Basically what I say about the females and the males can apply either way because everybody has like masculine and feminine energy. But I'm just separating it for easier terminology, you know. They tend to be kind of like protective and like, you know, hard body. Yeah, they tend to be a little clumsy because they're kind of like party animals, so they might drop the ball sometimes, but at the same time, they're pretty cool. And for Taurus, okay, so I know I'm doing like a stereotypical ass case for Taurus. I picked this case because, first of all, I'm gonna be honest, Taurus women are individuals that enjoy comfort in life, and they seek comforting things in people. And I'm not gonna say it's about food or anything in particular, but let's be real, Taurus individuals love food. So I picked fries before guys because they tend to value their comforts over stupid things. Okay, like not literally guys. Guys are not stupid, but you know that phrase, bros before hoes. So it's kind of like the female equivalent, like fries before guys. It's just like a saying. It's just, I'm going to take care of myself before I try to cater to anyone else's feelings or yada yada yada, or some toxic-ish, or whatever the case, you know. I picked this case for the dudes because Taurus dudes kind of tend to be like really stoic, at least appearing, and they also can be kind of like hazy, like, or they come off as hazy even though they're really grounded and like understanding. They just kind of come off like a tree, like they just kind of go like this. Sorry. They just kind of be really simple. Most people probably think Taurus dudes are boring, but no, if you just take away the fog like their self-doubt and all this bull. It's just a tree, like, just, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, for Gemini, I picked this case for the girls because they usually come off like super eclectic and really like colorful. I feel like they have more of an eye for arts and they're artsy and like more comfortable with their creativity. Like they're not going to judge themselves as harshly as maybe like other signs for their artistic ability to like what they like or do. And they're kind of like random or like energetic, but in a good way. Like most people would say they're kind of two-faced or they have multiple personalities, but I think that really should be said a different way. Like they just kind of have a huge personality with like a wide range of, you know what I'm saying, what people are for real. Like I always kind of think of Geminis like the equator because they be in the middle about shit all the time. And that's an air sign, so they're kind of up in the air, so you never know. And then for the dudes, I picked this case because literally most Gemini dudes that I know, why is it doing that to me? Most Gemini dudes that I know are trippy AF. I'm gonna be honest, like they just coming off, they be coming off like they just know everything for no reason. They be like, it's okay because they be so intense. And they kind of come off as like loners on one hand, and then they have like a bunch of friends on the other, or they know how to talk to people and stuff. They know how to like, you know what I'm saying? They're people-y people for real, even though they're like not. It's like they are good with people, but you know, they are super in tune and honestly low-key more intuitive than people give them credit for, because intuition is not just credited to water signs, you know what I'm saying? People usually give that to one water sign. Like earth sign intuitions be lit, fire sign intuition be lit. Like they can see like a mug. Earth signs just be understanding. Air signs just be like knowing. And then water signs be feeling. So they just know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like their intuition be slept on. Yeah, they just come out pretty trippy and like open-minded, you know. They don't F with fake people. Like you can't look into at a Gemini and lie. For Cancers, for the girls, I picked this case because it's giving lava lamp. Like they're pretty warm individuals. They're like homey. They're like soft, or like they kind of take their time feeling people out and doing things. They take time to get out of their shell. If you notice, a lava lamp has like a hard ass shell. When you look on the inside, it's so lit. It's so flowy. And then they usually tend to go with the flow a lot easier than the previous signs that I've mentioned because they're the first water sign. So they are tapping into that go with the flow mentality and like feeling your feelings for real, even though they haven't mastered it yet. They have not. But it's the introduction to like going with the flow. So they tend to be like super warm and sweet people. And like they're also really, really sensitive. Handle them like glass all the time. And then for the guys, I picked this snakeskin ass case because they are such the fucking opposite. Sorry, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. No, they're pretty sensitive and nice. They're so generous at their heart, but they do not like being fucked over. For real. Like, they don't really like to have so many friends, but they will have people that they mess with. And then they kind of come off a little snaky because they're really balanced individuals, or they try to keep their balance. They don't mess with anything taking them out of balance. So like people bringing drama, or people bringing chaos, or like arguing, or like just effing up the vibe. They're not going for that. Or like lying, scamming, cheating at people. They don't deal with the type of people unless there's some benefit for them. I'm not gonna hold you, but at the same time, they know right from wrong, and they will separate themselves from shit that don't feel right. Yeah, they can come off snaky only because they will snake you before you can snake them, for real. Like they could just tell what somebody's on, like their intentions and shit. Okay, so for Leos, for the girls, I picked this case because they have like big hearts and it's outside of their chest. For example, my mom was a Leo and she treated her children like hearts that were outside of her body, as if she couldn't be outside of their reach or out of bounds. They have big ass hearts, and like they honestly sometimes get taken advantage of because they will give till the end, like till they literally have nothing left. They'll give the shirt off their back if they really like someone or care about someone. Actually, that's really like a fire sign thing. Be an individual without feeling guilty or without feeling like they have to give all of them. Like they tend to be like martyrs, like Leo women. And at the same time, they can be a little feisty and like catty. So yeah, that's like them protecting themselves, or like their form of like showing that just because I'm nice does not mean I'm weak. You know what I'm saying? And then the dudes, I picked this case because they like to show off. Like they are like, they like to feel like the big boss, like the big dude. Like they like to feel like you can see what's going on in their life. You can see their success. You can see their sizing. You can see them. You could like, I picked this clear case because let's say somebody just got the newest phone. They want you to see that. Or like, they want to see it all the time. It's not even about nobody else. It's like, they are very visual people. They like to show off more than they should sometimes, a little bit. They also have big hearts too, but you know, dudes kind of have like a different pride than women. And then that's another thing, Leos can be a little prideful in a good way, in a bad way, but they're cool. They're pretty like generous and humble. They're actually really humble for dudes, despite having like a self-esteem with a high pride grade, you know? So for Virgos, I picked this case because they can be a little dreamy, a little in their mood. They be kind of moody, but at the same time, they're super sensitive. They're really sweet. They like to see people win. Like, I don't think Virgos really have a hating bone in their body for real, unless they're like super unhealed. Their emotions kind of be all over the place, which is why it's like cloudy or a bunch of clouds, because it could be a little overwhelming, and they kind of like fizzle out. Like they kind of just like spend time alone a lot, or like, you know, they love their friends, they love people, they love life and nature and all that, but like nobody really can tell how sensitive they are. And then they care for people before them a lot, and that can kind of get them mistreated or ran over a little bit. It's kind of like Leo, but the difference between Leo and Virgo is Virgo's going to peep and not really argue with you about it or get mad about it. they will dip. But they're not going to roar about their feelings. They're going to fly about it. For the dudes, I picked this case because they can tend to be a little feminine, like, or come off a little feminine. Like, they're not going to just pick some, let's say for the case's sake, just because they're a dude, they're not going to go to the store and pick a simple black case just because they're a dude. They're going to say, but I like this one because it's pretty. And I'm a guy, but I like this one. That don't mean nothing. And they can be a little heartfelt and loving and nature focused and all that jazz, just like the girls. They can be a little more nurturing than the girls sometimes, because I feel like, you know, they want to get in touch with that feminine side so badly, and they kind of have like a fear of abandonment. I've noticed. So they like to do things really by themselves for the most part, because who's to say anything is permanent? So they'll be their own like foundation, or like, again, like the girls will spend time alone a lot and just kind of be themselves. Like, they don't want nobody judging them for what they like or like who they are, or trying to tell them who they are. And you know, they just do them. So for Libra, I picked this case because, first of all, I love boba drinks, but I picked this case because they are like about the fun, about the trends. Like, they're about like what's going on now. They like the finer things in life, but they're not bougie. You know, boba is a nice drink, but it's not expensive as fuck, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you get the idea. And then they can come off kind of like airheaded, like they don't understand shit. But there's more beneath the surface, you know what I'm saying? So like the bowling balls will be like a surprise, like that Miley Cyrus like wrecking ball like video, when it's like, oh, you think they don't know what and the ball, like, nah, like there's more. I'm saying there's more to them beneath the surface than people would assume. Like, they're not just dumb. But for the dudes, I picked this case because, again, they're much about the fun. They're also kind of serious. Like, they're not really, it's not too much going on, you know what I'm saying? It's to the point with them. Like, they kind of have like a witty spirit to them. Like, you gotta be able to read, and you gotta be kind of like smart to deal with them. So like, don't take them for granted. And then that's it. As long as you're just yourself and you're fun and you're nice and you're not like weird with like a capital W, because they'll know you're good in their book. Like, they really mess with anybody for real. Like, they're really people-y, and then they're really understanding. I feel like that's the air sign that's fair AF. Like, they're about that justice. Like, they want everybody to get their slice, everybody, you know what I'm saying, to feel how they should feel and get what they want and need. Okay, so for Scorpio, for the girls, I remember what case I picked. I picked this case because Scorpio women love to feel like they are the baddest in the room. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Feel how you feel. Literally, if anybody has a problem with that, they are a hater, because anybody should be able to feel like that, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I like the little mirror. It's giving like Disney, like, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all type-ish. So even if they do kind of be a little, like, let's say you run into like Scorpios, because some people have like this like disdain towards the Scorpios because they think it's always sex and yada yada, and they didn't. Let's say you run into Scorpios like that, the stereotypical lame Scorpios. They kind of do want to feel like they're like, you know what I'm saying, better than someone. But then there's nice Scorpios that they just like themselves. You know, like they have this dark femininity to them, and they dive deep with people. Like they really dig into souls. Like they're not about that small talk. They're not about the fake. They're not about the hi. And they're really just like, they like weird people for real. Like they like people to be like themselves. Like they just don't like fake. I'm gonna be honest. But they really love to feel like them and their surroundings is exuding really the dark side of life, like the unknown, like what people are afraid of, like not inside the box. Okay, so for the dudes, and this could apply to the girls as well, a little tiny bit, but God, I noticed this with the Scorpio men. Scorpio men have such a like God complex a little bit, and they feel like invincible. To each their own. Do you, man? Like I said, you can feel how you want to feel in this world. They're also really competitive. They're so sweet deep down, so they put that guise on so that they could just come off like boss AF. Like, I know what I'm doing. I gotta get people to respect me, and I gotta come off mysterious and yada yada. They hate when people can tell and can read that shit too. It's like, why do you think nobody was gonna be able to? No, for real, like they look at life like a game. Like they're always strategizing. They always have a plan though. They're never gonna have a plan. That's why I mess with Scorpios in life, because they're not, there's no uncertainty with them. They don't leave room for like, I don't know. You either know or you don't. And even though that could be like a flaw of theirs, could they be stubborn? It's like, you do kind of have to be like that, a little black and white sometimes, because you gotta know what you're doing and who's on your team, who's around you, yada yada. So I just picked that because I just noticed Scorpios tends to kind of be strategic AF in life and a little calculated, but at the same time, if they have good intentions for real, it's not like they're a bad person. Okay, for Sagittarius, for the girls, I picked this case because they love friendship. Like, that's like the sister sign of Gemini. And Geminis are like that too. But I noticed Geminis kind of get that as a stereotype for real. Like, they actually do like to spend time with themselves. They're not always around people, you know. Just Sagittarius, low-key do be always around people. Like, they love their friends. Like, they actually treat their friends more like family than, you know what I'm saying? They like to create and build their own shit. Like, they like to just interact with people and like get to know people as people. And then they're really sweet and stuff, you know? They're like the life of the party for real. Like, they like to party and do shit. That's pretty much Sagittarius. Like, they can be super philosophical too. Like, they like to look at the bright side of life all the time. And then, you know, they like to help people feel better about themselves. I noticed. But they don't really be hating. And for the dudes, I picked this case because, again, I noticed some type of dudes be mad philosophical. Yeah, like they definitely are like the epitome of meditating, and like they like to travel and like try new things and do things and meet people and stuff like that. They're not staying in one spot for too long, or like they're not chained to nothing. They tend to be the best at mediating and seeing something for how it is without any emotional inputs versus the other fire sign. I'm gonna be rude. So for Capricorn, I picked this case for the girls because they are like super bougie. I'm gonna be real. They come off bougie, but they're really humble actually, and they work really hard for everything that they have. Like, they do not know what it's like to ask for help. They don't. And it's a little bad because everybody should be able to do that. It's admirable that they would rather work 6 jobs than not have what they want in life. Will that probably kill them? They don't care. But they be about their business and the finer things in life. Like, they're that earth sign that's serious. There's no jokes, nothing, bitch. But their love is like tough, like real. And then for the dudes, I picked this case because they serious too. Like, they're not letting you with their heart ever. And whoever hurt them in like 3rd grade or 4th grade, they did not forget. It's like, no, for real, like Capricorns are really sensitive and sweet. Like, they're really grounded. They really care about people around them. You know, they care about themselves too, but like, they like to work, they like to hustle, they like to distract themselves from, honestly, life. I've noticed a little bit because they just like to move around, they like to work, they like to have their stuff together, and they also don't like to play around. So I noticed like Capricorn dudes, they don't like to really dip into like dating or relationships too much because they don't have time for no distractions or like error. Like, they don't have time for somebody messing up their groove or like just messing with their heart, because they might go to jail if somebody break their heart. Let me think, who's after Capricorn? So for Aquarius, I picked this time for the girls because they about their business. You know, they kind of like the cutesy things in life that's kind of weird. Like, they like weird stuff. They like classy looking stuff. So when things are like put together and like, you know, things are shut completely, proper closure, proper this, you know what I'm saying? They like to do things properly or the right way. They like everything all together. Like, they like to feel like, if I could work from home, I will. Like, all my stuff is in one spot. Or they like to feel like I have my desk organized and everything I need is in this one spot. I don't want anything confused or messy. They're not messy. They're really minimalistic and like chill. Like, that's pretty much an Aquarius. And about their business. And then for dudes, they're kind of the same. They're weird, you know, they like weird things. That's it. It's like, I noticed most Aquarius dudes that I ever met or encountered, there's no like mold. They're either like, they're either like normal NPC or they are in like on dream mode. Like, they're not normal. And oh yeah, you can't really get anything past Aquarius, for real. You can't. Like, their minds are in the sky, for real. So I picked this little regular, normal, clearish, keep being weird case because they're just weird and people don't understand them, really, unless they do. That's it. And then Pisces. Oh wait, they'd be nice. They're nice people, but don't cross them. They kind of act like Scorpios. Like they'll sting you. Anyway, Pisces for the girls. I picked this little cutesy little sparkly case because they tend to be like really tender people. Like they can come off like super sweet and like funny. Like they're like really cutesy. Like they're silly. Like they're like that, you know. They are a little daisy. Like they come off like they're kind of out of it sometimes, but they're really intuitive. Like they know what you need more than you do, low key, and they're really understanding. And you can't really get nothing past Pisces either, for real. They can be a little emotionally unhinged. I can't hold you. So at the same time, they love so much. It's like they can't contain their feelings, and usually they be kind of small individuals. So it's kind of hard to contain all those emotions and all that knowledge and care. And them being sensitive is also like gonna contribute to like occasional explosions and stuff. So that's why all the little sparkles and dust is, because like their heart pop out their chest. For the dudes, I picked this case. It kind of looks like a sky and an ocean at the same time. So I've noticed Pisces dudes that I know, they try to come off like they have it all together, their emotions and their life, and they're really sensitive. They don't like people to make them feel like they're not enough or like they can't reach their goals in life. I don't know, most Pisces men that I know, they kind of drown in their feelings. But I don't know if anybody's ever seen like that picture of somebody drowning and then their hand is kind of up out of the water. So they're not completely drowned. So they tend to kind of like hold on to hope a lot. And it usually pays off in the end because God always comes through. You know what I'm saying? Lifts ninjas out of that drowning feeling. So yeah. They tend to feel a little alone, but they gotta remember that God is by your side. You know? Don't drown. So that's my little 2 cents on the Zodiacs based on like little phone cases. I just feel like doing that because whenever I do little Zodiac videos, they kind of do well. So, or they just do okay. Like I don't usually get too much backlash, so I just thought that would be fun to kind of like talk about what I've noticed about Zodiac signs. If you couldn't tell, it's getting hot in here because my hair is changing textures.